we do movie night and stuff like that, which is an impossible task because children have horrible taste. So, do you know what I mean? It's like
I forgot what it was like to go when I was in high school, and my friends and I were like, we'll rent a movie, and we go to Blockbuster.
Yeah.
And we'd be in like minute 50 of walking around because we couldn't decide on what to get, or we finally decided what to get, and that tape wasn't there. And I forgot what that feeling was until we had to choose a movie with my kids.
Oh, yeah.
And it felt exactly like that.
Yeah, no, I will search it up and then I will pitch it to people. And, you know, I've got 19, 17, 14, 12, and 10. And sometimes I just bully the situation. I'll be like, we're watching Suspiria. And they're like, what's Suspiria? And I'm like, you're not going to like it, but I want to see it. And so, but often
there's not a revolt on your hands for something like that?
There's usually a revolt, and there's, you know, there's complaining later on. But sometimes, you know, but it should be a movie. I feel like it should be a movie. And sometimes it's Freaky Friday and these decent movies, but sometimes we just end up watching, we've been watching Kitchen Nightmares a lot.
Okay.
It's amazing.
That's good, right?
It's amazing.
Okay.
And that's something where the whole team likes it, which is a relief.
Right. Usually it's a food show. Like we're a Great British Bake Show in our house. Holy Moly is something we can agree to as a family.
Really?
Yeah, we can do that. But other than that,
it's hard.
It is warfare. It truly is to choose something that we can all sit and watch. And if it's something, if I suggest a movie in standard definition, immediately rejected.
Oh, yeah.
Immediately rejected. I'm like, no, you don't understand. This is a classic movie. Like I pull the dad, like the you don't know thing.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but it's standard definition. Forget it. Out the door.
We watched Rushmore because I was kind of trying to set them up so that we could watch Asteroid City. And so I'm like,
so that's a gateway movie?
Well, it's like Wes Anderson. So I was so excited.
Yeah, right.
I was like, all right, I'll get my 19-year-old, you know, Jason Schwartzman's so amazing.
Sure.
My 10 and 12-year-old will climb on board. Bill Murray's with Bill Murray. And my 19-year-old, because, you know, he's in love with his teacher. And at one point he tries to kiss her and it's kind of aggressive. And my 19-year-old was like, I'm out, you know, because it was assault. And it's like,
I love
and
this
I'm
chat.
like, so when this movie came out in 98, the humor of that, like we knew that he obviously would never hurt her. We knew that she would never hook up with him. We knew that. But like, she's like, wait a minute. He's in love with his teacher. And so like to a 19-year-old, she was just like the social justice construct she couldn't break through.
I fought through the standard definition, no thanks battle with my kids to show them the original Bad News Bears.
Oh, wow.
I broke through it. I got them to sit down and see it. My daughter, the look on her face when Walter Matthau reached for a beer and cracked it open while driving.
Oh, yeah.
And she's just like, why would you show me this?
We did.
And then Tanner's language. I'm like, different time, kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But they looked at me like I was
we watched
out of my mind. You know?
Nacho Libre. And we watched Nacho Libre. Which, and so to see them navigate, because also my 10 and 12-year-old are like, they're like, is Jack Black Mexican? And I'm like, I don't think so. And they're like,
just
he
a damn
must
good
be
actor.
part Mexican. I'm like, well, he was just hired. I'm like, no, he wrote it. He wrote it with Mike White. And they're like, is Mike White Mexican? I'm like, no, he's as white as me. And I was like, but this is an homage. And I'm like, and so they're sitting there justifying this.
Yes.
And they're like, maybe the director was Mexican. I'm like, no, it's the director who did Napoleon Dynamite. Probably looks like me. And it was, but it was just,
funny.
It was not, it was appropriation as we understand it, but it was an homage to this, you know, to the, you know, Mexican. And I brought my kids to wrestling matches in Mexico City. They're amazing.
You did do that, huh?
Yeah.
Man, Father of the Year, Jim Gaffigan here on the Rich Eisen Show. And sometimes, though, and then we'll move on to your special. Sometimes my wife and I will just give up. We're like, fine, watch this movie that we know is going to not be nearly as good as what we've suggested, but we're done fighting. So one night we relented, and they watched a movie called War with Grandpa, or War on Grandpa, where, there's a grandpa who needs to be brought back into the family because he's living by himself and he can't, War with Grandpa, is that what it is? And so he's living in the third floor of the house, kicked the kid out of his room because he came in. So he and the kid are now in sort of like a Home Alone type battle.
Oh, wow.
The grandpa is played by Robert De Niro. And it dawned on me about 40 minutes in that the first De Niro movie of my children's life is War with Grandpa. And I grabbed the remote and I did the most provocative thing possible, which is to pause a movie.
And
on my
try
children.
And explain.
Oh my God. I had to. I said, you have to understand. We'll finish. Like, I'll hit play again because hitting pause on them is just very provocative act. I had to explain them. This guy on the screen is maybe the greatest living American actor, or if not the greatest actor of all time.
Yeah.
And they're like, hit play, will you please?
They're like, that guy?
That guy.
Or well, my kids, during the Super Bowl, they were like, my 14-year-old, she was 13 at the time. She was like, "Oh, Rihanna's for old people." I'm like, Rihanna is for old people. I'm like, what is going on?
Is that what her assessment of the halftime show?
Yeah, that was her takeaway from the Super Bowl halftime show.
Wow.
I mean, kids are horrible. But it is also fun. It's like even, so this Mac show, Full Circle, we got a screener and we're watching it. And my kids are like, you're playing a bad guy. Mm-hmm. Like, do you get paid less for playing bad guys than, like, the good guys get paid more? And I'm like, no, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
But like, it's just the perspective is so different. But it is fun, and they get angry when I play a bad guy.
Okay. I was about to say, I mean, when you're playing a serious character, do they get totally confused here? I mean,
not really, because they kind of know me as, they're like, oh, that guy? Yeah, we could see you as a murderer.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.